Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Reading the Red this Tuesday morning. This sunny yet showery Tuesday morning, and it's so crisp out there, and the sun was bursting across the sky, and then the rain came, and life is like that, isn't it? Full of different flavors, full of different encounters. We come today, Matthew chapter 18. Jesus is developing this information story in regards to trying to explain to disciples about how God evaluates and how God will bring about, as it were, recompense and judgment. And he's brought the slaves to him. The king, who is representative of God, has brought the slaves to him in order to be able to settle the accounts. And in chapter 18 of Matthew, verse 24, we read these words. When he, that's the king, began to settle them, that's the accounts, one who owed him 10,000 talents was brought to him. So he stops there in the verse. So one was brought to him. So the king has, as it were, got all these servants that owe the king and the kingdom, as it were, money and time. And the king is wanting to settle the accounts with these servants who have been living in his kingdom, enjoying, as it were, the fat of the land, without any sense of recompense or accountability. But now the king is wanting to settle accounts, and he's brought them in. And this one, the king has chosen to start with, and he owes him 10,000 talents. And the representation of a talent is one talent represented 15 years of service for a labourer in the king's court. So this guy owes 10,000 talents. So the concept is, Jesus is depicting, listen, we've got to start with those who owe the most. And this guy, he owes 10,000 talents. So he's been very liberated in his spending with regards to the king's possessions. With regards to living off the fat of the land in the kingdom. And Jesus is saying that the king is going to address the issues regarding those who owe most first. He's going to look and see, as it were, how they have been living, and he wants, as it were, the full payment of what's been spent and what is owed to the king and the kingdom. Now, these represent, as it were, these possessions represent the liberation of a life that this servant has been living. And he's been very liberated. He's basically done what he wants, gone where he wants, spent what he wants. He's lived like a king himself. In fact, he has been king of his own life. But now the king of the kingdom is ready to address this servant who has lived like a king in his life on the earth. And we continue it tomorrow.